Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Second time lucky for me. I've just done this whole session only to realise that my camera is off, so we'll try again. So today we're going to be doing handstands. It's the first session in our series. We're going to be working on things you can do around the home to keep yourselves active and keep your gymnastics going. Okay, so before we get started on the handstands, we need to make sure that we're warmed up. Okay, so just make sure you've got some space around you. Okay, doesn't need to be loads. Okay, I've just got one mat with me today, and that's all I need to use. You don't need mats at home. Okay, I'm just using them just to show you how much space I've got. Okay, so for our warm-up, very similar to what we do, we're going to do everything on the spot today. Okay, so we're going to start off jogging on the spot. You're going to do each of these exercises for 30 seconds, and then you're going to move on to the next one. So jogging for 30 seconds. Once you've done your 30 seconds, we're going to move on to jumping jacks. So feet together, hands by your sides, we're going to jump open, and then close. And you're going to repeat. So open and closed for 30 seconds. Arms above your head, legs open nice and wide. Focusing on opening those legs and those arms at the same time. So in and out, in and out. Okay? Once we've done our jumping jacks, we're going to jump our feet backwards and forwards. Okay, so as your left leg goes forwards, your right leg goes back, and we're going to swap. Jumping them backwards and forwards, like we're running, but we're not going anywhere. Okay, so jumping backwards and forwards, pushing with those toes, landing gently, pushing backwards and forwards. Keep going for 30 seconds. Okay, once you've done that, we're going to move on to stretch jumps. Now, if like me, you're at home and you haven't got a lot of room above you, and you don't want to jump up through the ceiling, hands on your hips, feet together, we're going to do stretch jumps with our hands on our hips. So legs together, head up tall, pushing with those toes, keeping those legs nice and straight, jumping up and down for 30 seconds. Okay, once you're doing 30 seconds of jumps, land gently, have a little rest, then we're going to do ski jumps. So ski jumps, same as we're doing now, but side to side. So feet together nice and tight, jump sideways, push back. Sideways, like you're jumping over an obstacle. So imagine there's a rope in the middle, you've got to jump over the rope. Side to side, keep going, 30 seconds. Once you're done, stop, have a little rest. Now, after we've done our warm-up, we need to make sure we're doing our stretch as well. Okay, we don't want to pull any muscles while we're doing this. So, standing on the spot, arms up nice and tall. We're going to start off with our arm circles. So we're going to go backwards, big circles with those arms, all the way up past our ears, all the way down. We're going to keep going over. Okay, with our stretches, guys, we're going to do each one for 10 seconds before we move on to the next thing. If you need to rewind and watch any of this, go for it. Okay, take your time, see how you get on. Once you've done backwards, we're going to go forwards for 10 seconds. Okay, once you've done that, stop there. If you want a challenge, you can try one each way. So one goes backwards and one goes forwards. And see if you can do that, guys. Okay, so one forwards, one backwards. For even more of a challenge, see if you can swap directions, swap directions. Okay. Once you've done that, legs open nice and wide into our straddle stand, hands on our hips. We're going to start with pushing our belly forwards, keeping those legs nice and straight, leaning back, look up to the ceiling, should feel it stretching all down your tummy. Okay, then keep those legs nice and straight, lean forwards, keep those legs as straight as you can, should feel it stretching all the way down the back of your legs, try and keep that back nice and straight. And then push back forwards, hold it for 10, looking up, and then lean forwards. Good. Back up to the middle. Now we're going to lean over to the side, keeping those legs nice and straight. Should feel it stretching on the inside of your legs this time. So hold it there. If it's not stretching very much, arm nice and straight down your side. Reach over the top. Try and grab the wall next to you. Hold it for 10, and then swap sides. So lean over. If you want that extra stretch, arm down your side, reach right the way across, try and grab hold of whatever's next to you. Good, and out you come. Next we're going to reach down for our toes. So again, keep those legs nice and straight, working on stretching all down the back of our legs. We'll call our hamstrings and our calves. So arms up nice and tall, we're going to fold forwards, see if you can get those toes. If you can't get your toes without letting those legs bend, don't go as far. Keep those legs straight. Reach, reach, reach. If you can only get to there, that's great. Hold it there where it's starting to pinch a little bit. Hold it there and it'll get better. Okay. Once you've done that, you're going to go back up nice and tall, arms up, and you're going to reach down one leg. Reach for those toes and hold it there. Good. Remember, 10 seconds on each thing, guys. Okay, so once you're doing 10 seconds, back up tall, and we're going to go down to the other leg. Okay, now, lots of you have done these stretches in sessions with me, okay, but it's important to keep these going at home, because when we do come back to gymnastics, we don't want to be all stiff. Okay, so hold it there, 10 seconds, and out you come. Give those legs a wiggle. We're going to sit down onto our bottoms and practice our shapes. Okay, so hopefully you'll remember these little ones. If you haven't done your shapes before, you can practice these at home with mum and dad. Okay, so the first shape we're going to do is a tuck. So we're going to tuck our knees into our belly, make sure they're bending, arms out nice and long, and sitting up tall. Okay, next shape, pike. Legs out nice and long, arms up tall, tummy nice and strong, keeping yourself up. And then straddle, legs as wide as you can. Same again, keep this tummy nice and strong, head up tall, nice pointy toes. Okay, now you can practice those as many times as you like. Tuck, pike, straddle. Tuck, pike, straddle. Okay, now we're going to go back to our tuck, and we're going to make the bottoms of our feet touch together, and we're going to hold on to our toes. Push your knees out to the side as far as you can, try and stretch those hips, and we're going to get our nose down to our toes if we can. Go as far as you can, see if you can put that nose onto your toes. Okay, hold it there, and then we're going to go to our straddle shape. So hopefully you can remember this one. Legs up and nice and wide for a straddle. Okay, hold it there, and we're going to fold down and touch both feet at the same time. So we're going to reach and touch both of our toes. Important thing to remember, guys, keep those toes pointing away from you. Reach now and see if you can keep that back nice and straight and get your tummy down to the floor. Okay, remember, hold for 10 seconds and then stretch back up. Have a rest. Arms up tall. Now we're going to go down to one leg at a time this time. So reach down one of your legs, hold it there. Try and get that tummy down onto the top of your leg. Lie down nice and flat. Hold for 10 and then up tall. Over to the other side. Same again. Try and turn your tummy, lie it down on top of your leg and reach for those toes. Remember to keep them pointed. Hold it for 10 and out you come. Once you've done that, give them a wiggle into the middle. Okay, squeeze those legs together. Pike shape. Keep yourself up nice and tall. We're going to reach our arms up to our ears, and we're going to see if we can keep our body nice and straight and fold down towards those toes. Now, the same as you did with the straddle stand, if you can't get your toes without your knees bending, don't go all the way to your toes. Just fold as far as you can until you feel it stretching along the back of your legs. Hold it there, because it will get better, I promise, and eventually you'll be able to get your toes and even lie down onto your legs. Okay. Once you've done your pike, we're going to swing round and lie down on our tummies. Okay. Feet together at the back, hands by your side, and we're going to push ourselves up nice and strong. Squeeze those legs together and look up tall. Should feel it stretching along your tummy for this one. You're going to hold it there and then look down at the floor. Look over one shoulder and over to the other. Okay, once you've done your stretch, jump up on your feet, give everything a little bit of a shake out, have a rest, grab a drink if you need one. Now, moving on. So today we're going to be working on our handstands, guys. Okay, so we're going to work on lots of different exercises, starting from easiest, working all the way up to the hardest. Okay, now take your time with this. Okay, I'm not expecting everybody to do the full handstand straight away. Okay, so work to your own ability. Okay, start at the easiest, work your way through. If you get stuck on anything, keep practicing it and it'll get better, guys. It'll get better. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to work on our handstand shapes. Okay, now nice and easy. All you need to do for this, guys, is find a space on the floor. Okay, so I've got my space here. To practice my handstand shape, I'm going to lie myself down and squeeze my legs together. Now, I want to reach my arms out nice and long, and I'm going to squeeze everything flat into the ground. So I'm going to keep my body nice and tight, squeeze everything as flat as I can into the ground. Okay, now once you've got this nice handstand shape, we need to start using these shoulder muscles. So we're going to lift our arms up, squeeze and hold them off the ground. We're going to keep our chin down, looking towards our fingers, squeezing those legs nice and tight into the ground. We're going to hold for 10 seconds and then come down and have a rest. Okay, with this exercise, guys, try and repeat it 5 times. Make sure you're holding those arms up next to your ears, 10 seconds, looking towards your fingers. Okay, so that's a nice easy one to start off with. Everybody can have a go at that at home. Parents, feel free to join in. Okay, now next thing we're going to work on is our front support. Okay, so we're going to start weight bearing in our arms now, putting a little bit more work on our arms. So you're going to pop your hands down, make sure your shoulders are above your hands, arms apart, looking down at the floor. Now we're going to push our toes into the ground. You can do it like this if you like, but we want to practice keeping those toes pointy. Okay, so we've got nice pointy toes, tummy nice and tight, hold that shape. To practice even more, tuck your head in, hide your ears, just like we do in our handstand. Okay, so you're going to hold it there for 10 seconds and come down. Same again with this one, guys. 5 times, hold each one for 10 seconds. If you can't do the 10 seconds, don't worry. Go for as long as you can and then have a rest. Okay, now if you're finding it really, really tricky or too easy, you can make it shorter or longer. So if 10 seconds is way too easy for you, see how long you can hold it. Okay, but repeat it 5 times. Okay, now once we've got the hang of our front support and our handstand shape, we're going to move on to bunny hops. Now, most of us have done bunny hops before, where we're hopping forwards. This time we're going to do it on the spot, practicing on keeping our hands nice and still. So we're going to go hands down, arms nice and strong, shoulders above our hands. This is important. Toes on the floor. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to hop our feet up and keep our knees bent. We're going to try and lift our bottom up above our hands. Okay, so looking down at your fingers, hop, and lift your feet off the floor. Hop, and lift your feet off the floor. Now, as we start to go a little bit higher, make sure you've got somebody here standing on this side of you to make sure you don't go too far over. If you're going a little bit fast, they can give you a push back so you land on your feet. Okay, it's important that we don't go too quickly into this one. Take your time. Okay, when you get a little bit more confident, we can work on going a little bit higher up. So arms nice and strong, hands on the floor, looking at those fingers, shoulders above your hands, and we're going to hop and see if we can get our bottom above our hands. So hop in, up and down, trying to balance on our hands. Okay, see how long you can hold yourselves up in that one, guys. So with this one, we're looking to do 10 bunny hops, have a break, then do it again, have a break, try and do it about 3 to 5 times. Okay, now, next thing, we're going to need a chair or a sofa to do the next thing, guys. So I've got my chair here, I'm going to pop it down on the floor, make sure I've got plenty of space. Okay, make sure your chair's not too wobbly. If you've got a sofa will be much easier to use and it's nice and soft. Okay, so we're going to do our handstand shape with our knees up on the chair. So we're going to come down, pop your knees on the chair, make sure your toes are pointing up to the sky, and you're going to put your hands on the floor and you're going to walk them in. Okay, so we're putting a little bit more weight on our arms this time. So we're going to look down, hide those ears, look down, pushing into the floor as hard as we can, and just holding it there. Hold it for 10 seconds, and then come down. Okay, same with everything, guys. Repeat it until you're feeling like you're working hard. Okay, now the next one is a little bit harder. Okay, so if you're not feeling comfortable doing that one just yet, don't move on. Okay, go back through all the steps, practice, 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 and it'll get better. Okay, now the next one, we're going to do our pike shape. Okay, so instead of having your knees on the chair, your toes are going to be on the chair this time. We want them nice and flat like we did in our front support. Okay, so pop your toes on the floor, make sure your toes are tucked in, make sure there's something soft on the chair, guys, otherwise it'll be a little bit painful. Put your hands down, toes onto the chair. Now, this is a front support, we don't want to be in this shape, we want to be in a pike, so we need to walk our hands in and make sure our bottom is above our hands. Okay, so we should have a nice straight line all the way up our back. Now, if you haven't got this straight away, it could be for a number of reasons. It could be you're not quite flexible enough in your legs, so we need to go and practice that pike fold. Okay, so that we can make sure that we got that nice straight line up our back. Okay, I think I need a little bit more practice with that one to make sure that my bottom is above my hands. But what we're looking for to do, guys, is hands, shoulders, and our back should all be in one nice straight line. Okay, we shouldn't be bending over and our hands shouldn't be too far away from us. So walk those hands in, when you feel like you're in a nice straight line, get mum or dad to take a picture. You can have a little check, see how you're doing. Okay, now once you've got the hang of that, guys, we're going to move on to something a little bit harder again. Okay, now remember, don't move on too quickly. Take your time, make sure your arms are nice and strong. If you're feeling tired, you can pause it, have a break, and come back to it, guys. Okay, so next one, we're going to go back into that pike shape. Okay, and we're going to walk our hands in. Okay, we're going to try and make sure that we've got that nice, strong, straight line, and we're going to lift one leg off and hold, and come down. One leg off and hold, and come down. Now, when you lift your legs off, try and hold it for 5 seconds. So lift your first leg off, hold for 5 seconds, pop it back down. Lift your next leg off, hold for 5 seconds, pop it back down. Try and do this 3 times, guys. So it'll be 10 seconds of holding, 5 on each leg, and just see how you get on with that. Okay. Now, we're going to pop the chair away now. And for this next little bit, you need a wall. Okay. So I put my mat up against the wall so that I don't get marks on the wall. If you've got a mattress, you can pop that against the wall. If not, socks. Make sure they're nice and clean. Walk your feet up the wall. Okay. Now we're going to put our hands on the floor in front of us, and we're going to practice walking those feet up the wall, keeping these arms nice and strong. Okay. So start small, hands down, pop your feet on the wall. See if you can hold it there. If you can't, walk your feet up a little bit further. If that's easy, even further again. Now, to make this more tricky, guys, we want to walk our hands closer to the wall. Okay? Now, what we're aiming for is to get right the way so that our bellies, our toes, and our chin are touching the floor, and we're holding this nice handstand shape here. Okay? Now, to come down, you can walk your hands out, or if you've got space to the side of you, take your foot off and come down. Okay, so different ways to come off the wall, guys. Make sure you've got something nice and soft in front of you, whether that's carpet, some pillows, just in case you come down. Okay, now remember, you need to be confident with all of these steps before you move on to this one. Okay, because this is a tricky one. Now, once we're happy with that, guys, the next thing we need to work on is the kick up into handstand. Now, everybody can work on this one, okay? Once you've got the hang of those bunny hops, this is the next step. So, kicking up to our handstand shape. We want to start with our legs together and our arms up tall. Okay, now we're going to work on something called the needle scale today, which is a step, reaching our hands towards our toes and kicking our back leg up and then coming back to the start. Okay, now with this front leg, guys, you want to try and keep it as straight as you can. Don't bend it like me, I haven't got very flexible legs today. Okay, but you're going to try and keep that leg nice and straight and kick your back leg up nice and tall. Okay, so same leg you'd use for a cartwheel. If you're not sure, good way to test, arms up tall, fall forwards, see which leg steps out to stop you from falling over. Okay, don't fall onto the floor, because that'll hurt. So start up nice and tall, step, reach your hands down. As your hands are going down, start to kick that back leg up, lift it up tall, and then stand up. This should be quite a fast move, guys. Okay, so nice and fast, step, and kick, and down. Okay. Now, when you're happy with that, guys, even if your knee's bending a little bit, don't worry. Keep practicing, try and keep it nice and straight. Okay. Next thing, we're going to do a little kick up and a little hop. Okay, so we're going to try and get both feet off the ground, but we're going to keep those legs open nice and wide. So we're going to start up tall, step, reach our hands to the floor, kick our back leg up, and hop, and come down. Okay. Now, same as we did with the bunny hops earlier. If you need somebody there to make sure you don't go over, make sure you've got somebody helping you. Okay. Take it nice and slow. Don't kick up too fast, and make sure you've got lots of space around you, just in case you do go a little bit wobbly. Okay. So step, hands down, kick, and come back down. Okay. So working on that one, guys. Now remember, with everything, nice straight legs, nice pointy toes. Okay. Now the last thing we can do, guys, before we go to a full handstand without any help, is we can do kick up and hold against the wall. Okay, so you're going to go back to your wall space. Make sure you do this nice and slowly till we go. Don't want to kick up too fast, just in case we bump our feet. If you did want to put something soft there like me, you can. See what you got around the house, ask mum and dad. See what we can pop up against the wall. Okay, now we're going to start away from the wall in a nice tall shape. We're going to step our leg forwards and we're going to do our kick up, and we want to make sure that our hands and nice and close to the wall. We don't want to be too far away. We want our fingers almost touching the wall. So arms up tall, step, hands down, fingers touching the wall, kick, and join those legs together. Okay, you can rest against the wall, push yourself up tall, point your toes looking down towards your fingers. When you're ready to come down, step one leg, and stand back up to your start position. Okay, now I'll be really impressed if you can all do that, guys. Remember, kick up slowly, join those legs together, keep those arms nice and strong. Good luck, guys. It'd be great to see everybody doing it. Parents, feel free to comment your photos of you doing this at home. It'd be great to see the whole family involved. Well done, guys. I will see you all on Friday for fitness.